about game time, we can talk about young players. Should Foden be getting more game time somewhere else, or is he happy getting the game time he is there? Talk about the young players at other clubs. Someone like Mason Greenwood now is getting plenty game time, but he's deserved it. Has he proved himself more than Foden did, and Foden doesn't deserve that game time, and Greenwood does? Or where are you at with that?
Different situations in that those clubs have been in very different places, right? I think Foden, again, we just talked about Kevin De Bruyne is on the bench sometimes. That tells you what you need to know about Foden.
Everything. It'd be like, well, he's sitting on the bench. Sterling's on the bench sometimes.
Yeah,
all the great guys on the bench. What makes you different?
And now David Silva's moving on. I think Foden's now maybe been prepped and ready. I think, bro, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a plan to bring a young kid through and to hold them back at the right times. I think that's definitely, I think what you've seen with Mason Greenwood, for example, is a perfect example of that. Like, everyone's just clocking on, but obviously United fans have known about Mason for a couple of years. It wasn't like Rashford. Rashford just came from nowhere. Like, people knew about him, but he wasn't the guy who was being spoken about. Rashford got a break in the team through a whole injury crisis. Van Gaal put him in that European game in Europa League. He suddenly scored a couple and then backed it up with another couple against Arsenal. He just was like, whoa, he's in the team. Mason, there's been a whole plan the whole time. And you knew that when it finally worked, they've been obviously trying to build him up as well because he was fucking so skinny, man. And now suddenly he's come back looking like he's bulked up this time as well from the re-break, and that's the difference. I think Mason, I don't see how you take Mason out of the team apart from if we sign Sancho. I think if we sign Sancho, then again, you're going to have 4 very exciting, pacey players, attacking players, competing over 3 places. That's fine. We just talked about that with Pep and Sir Alex Ferguson. Like, they always had 5 or 6 fighting for 4 or 5 places. Like, as in, like, all in their own rights, not happy to be, or your second choice, you'll play some games. No, every one of you demands to play, fight it out. And I think Sancho will add to that balance. But I think what excites me with Mason, bro, when you look at and to be honest, a bit with Foden as well, they don't look like young players in terms of the way they play in the game. Like, as I said, the latest one that came through United, for example, before Mason was Rashford. Like, you still look at Rashford now, man. Rashford still looks like a young player. Let's be honest. Like, he's a very.
I was about to say that we're forgetting that Rashford is still a young player.
Yeah. Like, and he plays like a young player, bro. He plays like a young player. He plays with that fearlessness, and he plays with that, that sheer, I'm just going to go in that direction. He turns when he shouldn't turn, and he just does crazy street football, isn't it? And he just runs, and but he's like a tornado. But he's I mean, the clue's in the name. He's a bit rash at times. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at Mason, bro. Mason's not doing those kind of things. Like, he's the choices of finishes he's making. The everything slows down for him when he gets in front of goal, and he looks like he's like, yeah, this is where I'm at home. Other people suddenly get the rush of blood. Mason calms down, and the technical ability to find the choice of finishes, and then the way he's moving around the pitch and the positions he's taking up in the spaces. This is the work of an experienced player. That Mason's doing that not through experience. He's doing these things quite naturally, and it's his composure and his intelligence that makes me look at him and see shades. I've been watching Mason for a couple of years, but I remember I saw it when I first watched him play, and I still hold on to it. I see the Van Persie comparison in the way he moves. Like, there's the way he finishes the ball and things like that, but it's actually his game. It's the way he's thinking about things. But he's doing it at an age where you're like, wow. But at the same, he's a kid, and he will have little inconsistencies.
Do you think the fact that there's no fans has helped him at all? Because do you know what? If there were fans on the park, not on the park, in the stadium, and he was doing what he's done recently, he would have songs about him. He would have, like, the crowd bouncing him, Fernandes, Pogba. These guys would have everyone excited right now. But do you also think that no fans being there has taken off that pressure where You can just go out. Do you know when they talk about like, oh, I walked into the stadium and there was like 60,000 people there and just that buzz and that feeling. Sometimes that just adds a layer of like, but sometimes it doesn't.
It can, bro, but I don't see it in Mason. Like Mason, though, Mason came in at the very end of last season as well and got a couple of games, and then he's played a few times at the start of the season. He's come off the bench. When Mason steps on the pitch, invariably.
But now there's now I expect he's in my fantasy football team. Now I expect.
Okay, outside the club they will be, but inside the club, everyone's known myself. The United fans we've known about Mason. Like we have known. It's not like Rashford. We've known this kid was coming through for a couple of years. We've all been waiting, and the club have been very careful with it because they've wanted it to be right. Even now, I still think they're begrudgingly leaving him in because come on and you've just done exactly what you've done at every youth level, scoring more than a goal a game your whole time. You're just carrying it on, so can't really leave you out when our. And this is a difference again, though, bro. Foden's in a squad that's primed to win. United aren't yet. United have a very, very good first 11. You saw what happened on Monday night, though, right? If 5 or 6 of those players have an off day, and that's unlikely. I think at the moment now we've got 11 strong enough that won't happen very often because United could have 3 or 4 have an off day, but someone else, whoever's left then is a serious situation. But other than Rashford and Martial, everyone was terrible. It was a really bad day. There's nothing on the bench, bro, that can replace it. There isn't. Like we've got Fred and McTominay, very good players in their own right as number 8s, but they're not even in the same. It's very good players, very good Premier League players. They're not great players. They're not going to come in and do what Pogba and Bruno can. Mason comes off because Mason had a bit of an experience, I think, the way Southampton targeted him and made him go back the other way. And Mason's going to learn that side of it now. If Mason's able to just go and attack, it's a problem. But if you start making him go back the other way, Wan-Bissaka had a bad game, which isn't usual, which didn't help Mason on that side, and our right side struggled a bit. But then the point is, then we take Mason off and put on Dan James, bro. Again, it's just an Energizer bunny without the brain. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's nothing going on upstairs, bro, and it's a shame, innit? Because he's it's just quick, innit? Like it should be.
He actually looks the part. Like for me, I was like, yo, man, this guy can play. Like good signing.
It's just quick, bro. It's just quick. Like you give him space to run into, bro. Jesse Lingard looks a world beater as well. Like, there's certain players that you give them yards to run into, like they're gonna be a problem. Like they've got Lingard for energy and he makes some good off the ball running. James, because of that pace, bro, that pace, and if you give him that to run into, and his course control isn't terrible. But the second he gets anywhere near goal or a final pass, as soon as an opportunity to find a goal or assist, he will grab defeat from the jaws of victory every time. Like literally every time. He's just football IQ is really, really, really poor. But he was in the Championship last season, bro. And maybe they're gonna have to coach that into him. But I've already seen enough this season to go. That's going to be a project. Like that's going to be a project. Like because I don't see what you're working with naturally, just pace. So the point is, you're going to pick him over Mason. He's coming on and busting man up. Like you can't do that. So the point is, Mason's going to get game time because he's coming on and looks lethal, and he's connecting the way he is with Rashford and Martial. But you can't see any of those 3 coming out. That's what we need. Sancho. We need someone at the same level or better to come in and also mean that someone's getting left out who probably doesn't deserve to. You need that competition. We need that across the pitch. City, I don't have that problem, bro. So Foden, you can afford to be patient with him. And now he's going to get more game time because David Silva's gone because he's absolutely good enough. But the difference is there's 5 or 6 players compete. They've got Gundogan and Bernardo Silva. Do you know what I mean? They've got so many good midfield players over at City that like Foden really should have to does he want to go out on loan and come back, or does he want to come and see if he can get into the team? It's a judgment call, but I think he'll get in. I think he'll get in now, and I think Pep's cleared a path for him. I don't think he'll go and replace David Silva this season. I think he'll give that to Foden, but he will focus on his CDM, his centre back, and probably another striker to partner with Aguero and Jesus to add real competition there, and probably another wide player. But I don't think he'll touch his creative midfield players. Well, why would he need to?
it doesn't.
It's overly stocked as it is, even with Silva leaving.
Talking about loans, Sanchez, will he be able to work his way into your team?
I mean, if somebody needs some cleaning done, he's welcome to come and.
So,
bro, Sanchez needs to leave, bro. I've heard this a few times because people say, "Oh, he scored a few goals since the restart in Italy." Bro, the Italian league is a yard slower.
Okay. Let me put across my point, and then you can make your point, right? He comes back in. Good players don't just become bad players, right? So sometimes you can have a bit of off time or not be confident. You can lose your you can do a few things. However, he is a good player. He's not done what he wanted to. Like, I remember when he chose United over City, United fans were delighted. He was a good player, right? So good players don't just become bad players. He comes back and he proves himself to Ollie. Is he making that team?
No. Nah, Ollie doesn't want him, but he doesn't. Do you know, we're saying this like Sanchez wants to come back. He doesn't want to come back, bro. It didn't work. It didn't work. Did you? And a big thing that went on is there was a big clash with Mason Greenwood in training, and I think that triggered a lot of things. There was an incident that happened there, and on the back of that, Ollie was like, "Okay, I'm going to pick one of them." Well, good luck, Sanchez. Do you know what I mean? Keep enjoying them piano lessons. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to leave. Do you know what I mean? Bro, he's the past anyway. Do you know what I mean? He's lost a yard. He clearly lost a yard. Yeah, bro, it was terrible for 2 years, and his attitude stank as well. There's nothing in there unless I'm still convinced it was his twin or something. Like, I don't even think it was actually him. Whoever that guy was who was playing for Arsenal, that's not who turned up at Old Trafford, bro. In terms of the mentality he had, nah, bro. Why? What? He was the reason why Martial couldn't get in the team. How disgusting is that? How disgusting that fraud kept Martial out of the team. Like, because Lukaku had to play apparently. So Martial wasn't playing down the middle. So where he could play, then okay, well, we would let him play out on left. Oh, hang on. Sanchez is there. You look at that right now, bro. Sanchez and Lukaku versus Rashford and Martial, those two positions. Are you kidding me? How was that even a decision? But that was the thing. So for me, I don't see any value to Sanchez coming back. And this, bro, that's even if he wanted to. It doesn't. It didn't work. Nobody was happy with it. It came for the money, let's be honest. Bro, do you know how much money he's on? My issue is, bro, I'm excited. If he's starting to do bits in Italy, yes, we can maybe sell him now. Because we need to get them wages off the wage bill, bro. Like, he's on like 400 grand a week or something stupid. We need to get that off the wage bill. United will have some budget then. So if he starts playing well, bro, brilliant. Like, honestly, superb. And if Conte wants to do us another favour after we took Lukaku and Ashley Young, and do you know what I mean? I'm hoping he's watching Jesse Lingard and looking his hands to right now as well. And Phil Jones is looking for a move. I heard he likes, but probably get sunburnt. But I heard he likes a bit of sun. Like, honestly, bro, Conte wants to come back and keep signing our deadwood. He's more than welcome. And if he wants to keep Sanchez, bro, sick. The only one who's gone out, bro, I'd maybe Smalling is one I think has done really, really well. I just don't know if we need him. I'm talking like we say need get in the team right now, but I don't know if he's a centre back we need coming in the summer. If we are going to get one, I won't be against Smalling coming back though, bro, because I'd be like, well, he'll be used. I think the issue there is Smalling will want to be in the first team. I'm not sure Ollie sees it. I think Ollie seems to want to persevere with this Maguire-Lindelof situation, which I'm not a fan of because neither of them have got pace. Neither of them have got pace. They don't feel like a partnership because they're both trying to do the same things. Bailly complements both of them better, but Bailly's always injured. Twanzebi's coming through and looks exciting, but again, he's a prospect still. So if we can sign a top pacey centre back next to Maguire will look like Maguire again. But those two are struggling because neither of them trust each other for pace. That's the issue.
Who would you sign? So you're spending money on your defence. Who else? Like, would you have someone who, you know, you could
Yeah,
buy?
bro. Yeah, I kind of the last couple of weeks I've looked at it and gone. I think we'll get found out without it. I think we'll get by without them. I mean, Matic does a really good job protecting them as well, but he also doesn't have great legs either. So honestly, the reason why we've been able to get away with it is our fullbacks have been really good the last sort of few months. Wan-Bissaka's titanium. He had a bad couple of games, but he's contender for player of the season. And Luke Shaw's really kind of kicked on again. Do you know what I mean? I still think that these guys need to do more going the other direction, but defensively they've been pretty good. And I think and Luke Shaw was even playing in a back three at certain points, so they both know how to cover the centre back positions. And I think it does a huge job for Lindelof and Maguire, because if you can isolate Lindelof and Maguire, they're not a partnership. Like, do you think of the great partnerships? They complement each other, and those two don't complement each other. They're both good in their own right, but they don't look like they belong next to each other. Like, they both. The issue is in Premier League, bro, it's the fastest league in the world, and your two centre-backs have no pace between them. It doesn't work. So all he needs to sign... we don't need another... We're talking about even a few Skriniar at one point in from Inter, but like, there's no pace either. We need someone with pace. Like, we've got Harry Maguire. Maguire can be the dominant, good in the air, you know, but he needs to know that he can come forward and he can do what he needs to do, knowing that he's not left absolutely isolated behind him, because he's not Van Dijk. He's not got that pace. He doesn't have it. So if you're going to have Maguire, you need to complement him. And I look at the moment, and I think that's a bit of our Achilles heel. And if Tuanzebe isn't going to, Tuanzebe seems to keep getting injured as well. So we've got Bailly and Tuanzebe who can't stay fit between them. If one of them can't come through and claim that spot next to Maguire, I think we will need to sign a centre back. But I still think the key thing we need, bro, is some squad depth in the midfield and up front, because the drop off from the three and three that are in right now, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, brilliant. I'm fucking so excited for the first time in years about a Manchester United forward six like that, like, you know, a midfield and a forward line. What happens when any one of them needs a rest?
Or gets injured, or everything else that happens, other clubs come poaching, and you're like, actually, I wouldn't mind going to wherever, sunny, or whatever. Tell me about this. Talking about unhappy players again. Tell me a bit about Gareth Bale. Like, has he got a place back in the Premier League? Like,
it's hard to tell, bro. It's hard to tell, right? Because
he's unhappy.
Yeah, and unhappy players. Yeah, I mean, Bale, whenever I watch Bale, he's never that bad. Like, he's been hit and miss, but they just don't seem to like him over there, bro. They just don't seem to like him, but and he also can't stay fit. It's not a good combination, is it? But also, where's he going to go if he came back here? Now, he had the chance 5 years ago. See, when he won them back-to-back Champions Leagues, that was his moment to come back. And I think he stayed. And I think now it's gone too far. And there's definitely something going on between him and Zidane, right? Seems really bad, their relationship. So he's taking Gareth Bale on those kind of wages with that kind of injury record, for the fact that for the hope that he might still be able to do what he could do 5 years ago. Because I think he probably could, but...
How old is Gareth Bale?
He's in his 30s now, right? He must be. He must be, what, 31, 32?
So what
is he? Let's have a look. I mean, bro, but sometimes he might be sat there. You might find he's 29, right? Do you know what I mean? But Wayne Rooney was spent at 28. It can happen, right? He's 30. There you go. He's 30. So he's probably still got a job in him. But, bro, Wayne, I know Wayne Rooney's doing bits right now. Yeah, it's nice and everything. Do you know what I mean? But Ferguson wanted rid of Rooney a couple of years. But Ferguson was going to sell Rooney. And then Moyes came in. Everton blood brothers were reconnected. And Rooney got another couple of years. Van Gaal made him skipper. But Rooney survived into Mourinho. But Rooney was already a spent force, bro. He was already a spent force. Like, Rooney's prime was like 25, wasn't it? Like, in fact, Rooney as a kid was different way. He's got ran into the ground. Like, I think Gareth Bale, I'd be like Sanchez. So I would say Sanchez was 29 at United, but he lost a touch. It depends on what the player's about, right? It depends on how they play and how they look after themselves and discipline and all that sort of stuff. And when I look at Gareth Bale, when you keep getting injured like that, I ain't going to stop at 30, is it? Unless you go and do you know what? You should go and spend some time with Ryan Giggs and find out how Giggs did it, because Giggs prolonged his career. Giggs was getting injured a lot at this age. And then he went on to like 39 or something without any injuries in the last 5 years. But he was doing like zero body fat and yoga and all kinds of stuff. So go find out. In fact, he's Welsh coach. Go find out what it was he did to prolong his career. And if Gareth Bale could do something like that, maybe. But I don't know.
So
But he's always
trying a move to bloody America or something. Like, where's Bale going to go? He's not.
Yeah, he could do that. He could do that, bro. He's still a huge name. He could there or China. He could do one of them things for sure. But I don't think he wants to yet. I think he wants to still play at the highest level. Bro, probably should go to Italy, bro. Probably Conte will take him. Do you know what I mean? Probably, do you know what I mean? He'll still be a young buck in that team, won't he? Do you know what I mean?
Conte. I think Conte's done a great job. Like, at one point,
I love him. If he wants to sign anyone else he wants, bro, come. Like anyone he wants on the team. Honestly, I can't thank him enough. Like he got rid of Ashley Young for us. Like that was.
You're seeing it like an easy customer, but like at one point, Conte was the guy that was going to knock Juve off their pedestal. Like.
Bro, you can be older in Italy, innit? You can be older in Italy. It's a yard slower. It's fine. Like Gareth Bale will probably do great over there, bro, because is he technical? Yes. Is he talented? Yes. Can he score a goal? Yes. Can he? It's just he's going to be Greece Lightning in that league. It's just, but also it's the intensity levels. He's not going to be doing that. He's not going to have to do the same level of high impact, high intensity sprints. And must be impacting him. Look, he can still do a job. I think I got the feeling you were asking, could he come back to the Premier League? And if you're asking me that question,
that is what I'm asking. Could you see him at Tottenham? Could you see him, Man U have an interest? Could you see?
Well, maybe Mourinho would take him, but then Mourinho signed Sanchez, didn't he? So, but how much are his wages? What's Levy going to have to say about that? Do you know what I mean?
That's the thing. If it wasn't Levy, then
pull out his own contract. Exact same terms from on back then. I mean, that'll be it. Do you know what I mean? You ain't getting that Real Madrid money, sunshine. That's not going to happen. Where else is he going to go? Man United ain't interested. United is all about youth now. City ain't going to go near it. Liverpool ain't going near it. Who does that leave? Arsenal, they won't want it. It's a young coach again. It probably only leaves Spurs or Everton. If Ancelotti might want him back. You never know. Ancelotti liked him, didn't he? Maybe an Everton, that would be a big name. You know what I mean? You're talking about a club there that needs a big name. But I don't know how they're affording him, but Real Madrid might pay part of his wages for a while or something. I don't know. I'm sure Zidane can't wait to get rid, so.
There's something going on there. And it's not cushy for either of them.
Yeah, but he's been a top player. At the end of the day, bro, people say, does he regret going? 3 Champions League medals, probably says no. You know what I mean? Like, he had a great time over there, bro. But he probably wants to wrap it and give up on it, to be honest, because I don't think he's appreciated over there. Because no matter what, he's had a hard time. Whatever's gone on in the last couple of seasons, the injuries, like he was huge when he was in that team that had Cristiano Ronaldo in it as well. He was absolutely superb.
He scored some unbelievably important goals as well. Like, it wasn't just he'd do whatever. Like, he scored some goals that were winning the game, winning the big game goals. Like, he wasn't like a whatever, but like.
He holds a special place in my heart now for that Champions League final goal.
I knew.
But I always remember the cup final, the Spanish Cup final one, when he got knocked off the park and ran back on.
He went round.
Yeah. That Spanish Cup get. Yeah, it was like that was his first. Was that his first year?
Yeah, and I just remember when he went off the park, I was like, "What the fuck's he doing?" And then he kept chasing the ball, and I was like, "What the fuck is he doing?" And then he won the. I was like,
"Yeah, that was class, bro. The turn of pace he showed there was frightening, bro. At that point, He was ready to become Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. That's been the issue, bro. Real Madrid expected that's what they were getting. They were expecting him to take over the mantle from Cristiano. It never quite happened. It's never quite happened. Not quite that level. Like, it's a level below, but they as far as they're concerned, they broke the world record again, right? I know they fudged the numbers, didn't they? So they could tell Cristiano he was still the most expensive player in the world. But we all know Bale was at that moment. Do you know what I mean?
What about Chelsea?
As in, what? As in, what about?
Would he go to London? Would he go to Chelsea?
Oh, would Bale go? Nah.
You don't see that?
Nah. I mean, look, they've just been signing. They've got like Werner, and they don't need him, bro. I'm wondering if Giroud's going to stay there. You know, I actually still rate Giroud. He does a good job. You know, he does a good job. Like, he's great for an exciting wide player. He's such a great sort of board. He just holds the ball up. Hazard loved him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hazard got so many goals with him.
Why I'm putting the one in, I miss Giroud, and I was like, you know what? Fucking hell! Like, people who have him in their fantasy football team must be loving him, because I can't imagine him being too expensive. But he's doing a job.
Nah, he doesn't score an awful lot of goals. Like, he scores goals. He doesn't score an awful lot, but a lot of goals happen because of him. It's why he's always been in the French team. Because if you're playing them, I mean, he'd do well at Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool would probably use him that way, because you do it with Firmino instead. But again, if you're playing two players like Sané and sorry, I guess it's Sané today. Mane and Salah, the way they kind of the inside runs they do, he'll make that happen, because he's the perfect person to kind of allow those players to play. Like, Hazard was superb. You look at the way the French team played, the amount of impact he has on Mbappe's game, it's huge. Like,
Was it the forward that didn't score a goal in the World Cup?
Because, bro, most of his stuff is to hold it up and bring people into play. And if you've got players running off him like that, they love him. But he's not someone. He's probably his routes to go involve service. But if you're playing fast forwards like that, you play off him to get them in. So it means invariably you're not really supplying Giroud the way he would be needed to supply to score goals. If you decide to start playing proper wide players and whipping it into the box, one-touch finishes. That guy's a monster, bro. Any foot in the air, one-touch finishes. He's a problem. But a lot of teams don't use him that way. Then they can use that as a plan B, but they'll use him to play super fast wide forwards, and he's like a bouncing board for them, but in the right way. Not like Lukaku, who bounces it any direction it hits him and goes. Do you know what I mean? Like, it comes back the way you needed it. And the amount of
he's laughing right now. I tell you what, Mikey, you're giving him stick, but he's laughing right now. He's
a goal scorer, bro. I put respect on Lukaku's goal record. Like, if you're going to play that certain way, where you're just someone who's he's not going to contribute to anything else, but if you can put him with space to run into, like, he's going to score goals, because he's powerful and he's quick. And he's I don't think he's a great finisher. I think he's a decent finisher, but he's so powerful that he gets enough situations. But if you're trying to play a brand of football that involves build-up and going through the gears of the pitch, like, you're playing with 10 men until it's time to clip it into the box, because he can't do it, bro. He comes in and just like... I remember once watching him try and do a step over Old Trafford, and when he fell and stuff, and it was like... No one was... This is the face that went on Old Trafford. It was like... Do you know what I mean? It's like how you felt with people. It's the same thing. He does a good job. Yeah, he does. It's just a job nobody wanted doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just the lamppost, isn't it? Do you know, the lampshade, just, you know what I mean? Like, we play Route 1 football, and it's like, well, yeah, if you're going to play that way, I can see why they use. Like, Lukaku's a good player at what he does, but he's not even one-dimensional. He's half-dimensional. Like, do you know what I mean? But if you're playing that way, he's a problem. Do you know what I mean? People try and compare him to Didier Drogba. It drives me crazy. Like, Drogba would take on a defence on his own. And that, if you put that ball to Drogba, no matter where in that body that hit, it stuck. It protected. Yeah. Lukaku just doesn't do any of that. He's not. He's got space to run into, and he's able to gain up momentum. He's so big and powerful. He's a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, and in Italy, where and Conte is playing to his strengths. I've no issues with like Lukaku. If you're going to play that way, I'd be like, you should sign Lukaku. If I'm looking at Inter right now, I'd say you should get Lukaku. He'd do great for you. And I won't be just saying it with tongue in cheek. I'd be like, he'd do great for you. Yeah. But I don't want my team playing that way. And if you want to play the way you want to play, Lukaku's not going to work.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay. That's why I say what I say.
I want to wrap this up on a question. The only thing exciting me about the Premier League right now is who is 3-4-5. So give me your 3-4-5 and
who. If you'd have asked me on Monday, I was saying United are definitely 3. But
now it becomes a more interesting question.
Yeah, do you know what? The only thing that slightly concerns me, bro, is like this is the thing that I thought we'd stop doing this, but so many times this season, Chelsea have opened the door and United have gone, nah, you're all right after you, every time. And then we did it again. And we did it.
Yeah, it's like Chelsea have knocked on the door and Man United have opened and Chelsea already inside.
Yeah. We've just done it again, bro, and it's like, it feels like there's a mental thing. So I'll tell you what, if we go and bust up Palace tomorrow and show
give me your 3-4-5. No, not if, buts, or maybes. Tell me your 3-4-5 from today, from what you know.
Okay, so what? Chelsea have got Liverpool to play still and Wolves. I'm saying this based on the idea that Liverpool are going to take it seriously.
Yeah, of course.
They want the 100 points. Then I think Chelsea come 4th because I think they'll lose to Liverpool, but I think they'll beat Wolves. Yeah. So I think they come 3rd. So I think United take 3rd because I do believe we'll bounce back against Palace and show that we've gotten over this thing of where we lose a game, we have to lose 5 or 6. United
2-0 and lost Benteke, didn't they?
Yeah, and look, I think that Solskjaer's been a coach. It's been a run, bad run, good run, bad run, good run. So now we've drawn a game. I'm expecting us to show that that's the past, and I think with Bruno and Pogba in the team will do that. So I think United win against Palace, and therefore I think United take 3rd. Either way, that's going to be 3rd and 4th. Leicester are missing out. Leicester are missing out. Yeah, Leicester are 5th. They've got still to play Sheffield United. I think Sheffield United. I think we'll take points of them. Then they've got to go away to Spurs. I can see Mourinho just frustrating the life out of them. Leicester like to counter-attack teams. Well, Mourinho gets a nosebleed if he leaves his own penalty area, so that'll be, I think they'll take points of them. And then their last game is us. So I think we go there, and they'll need to come out and beat us. But actually, if they lose points in both those 2 games, it'll be irrelevant anyway. But I think no matter what, United go there needing only a draw. You don't want United going there being able to counter-attack you, and Leicester need to be on the counter-attack. So that's my theory behind it. The next couple of days will show us the potential caveats to that. But that's how I see it going down. I think Liverpool will take it seriously because I think you want that 100-point record. And it's not like if you decide to throw the game, it's going to keep United out anyway. I think it will keep Leicester out anyway. So I think Liverpool will take it very, very seriously, and I think you'll beat them. I think they'll beat Wolves, but that will be a hard game as well. I think United will win all 3, but I don't think it was going to be 3-0 and shit. I think there'll be a dirty 1-0 in there somewhere as well, like a proper, And Leicester, I think Leicester might not win another game this season.
So I didn't put any Leicester players into my fantasy football. Looking at their run and be like, they ain't gonna do nothing. But then they're doing stuff, man.
Yeah, but I think they're collapsing, bro. Their bottle's gone. They've got the pressure's got to them. They're in bad form. I don't see them winning another game this season. They might beat Sheffield United, but I honestly at this point I think Sheffield United are a better team than them. Sheffield United look like they're back to what they were before, and I think they'll want it more than Leicester, which is mad because Leicester probably need it more. But Sheffield United really want the Europa League spot. And I think they'll get it. So I think they'll actually get that. So I think Sheffield United will take points. I think Spurs will. That'll be a dirty. If they're going to win anywhere, they'll beat Spurs. A dirty 1-0. But I could see that being 0-0, a Jose special. And then we'll go there and bust them up. So I think if United go there on the back of 2 wins, we'll just go and we'll just bust them up because I don't think they're that good. So yeah. I think either way, I will confidently say that Leicester are missing out. But third and fourth, probably just United third, purely because of the fixtures left.
Fair. That's fair. Okay.
There we go. Try to be straight down the middle with that one. What do you think? Do you agree?
I agree. Looking at the games to play and the run of form and the confidence the teams are going in, I just don't think Chelsea will ever feel super confident. They've got great players in there that can play football, but I don't think they've got like I think Frank's done a great job with them, but I don't see them going into games saying that we won't lose this game. I think every game they go into, there's a challenge. I think Man U are almost at a stage where they can have a bit of swagger and they could be like, we're not losing this game. Leicester, I think they're just happy to be there, and they've got Vardy with like a great record, and they've got a couple other players around him. But I just like the Golden Boot might excite Vardy, but I just don't like. I don't see anything that like. I don't know. I don't know what Brendan Rodgers is saying there to motivate them other than European football. But they might just be tired, mate. They've got like big games ahead of them. So I think you're right with 3 and 4. I don't know what order it'll be though.
Yeah, it'll depend on that Liverpool game because obviously Chelsea do have the lead. But I'm hoping United turn up against Palace and show that was just a little blip. It was just a bad performance, man. Against a team that pressed as well. Palace ain't going to do what Southampton did as well. It was the press that we struggled against, the way that they were pressing. It really highlighted Lindelof and Maguire's lack of pace, Matic's lack of legs, and De Gea's lack of long-range passing. There was those four. They targeted them, and by doing that, they isolated Pogba and Bruno. Neither were quite at the best. And then it ended up being like early in the season, it was down to Rashford and Martial feeding off each other. And they did all right, to be fair. Those two were great. So yeah, Palace ain't going to do any of that. Palace are going to try and play a 4-3-3, and they'll try and press, but do you know what I mean? They'll try and sit back and play a low block. I think if you play a low block against United right now, we've not got any real problems with it. But if you if you threaten us with pacing behind, and they've got Zaha, but I don't think anyone else is doing that.
Zaha, I'll tell you what. So Zaha obviously went through that whole racism thing, and I hope.
That was
it's just horrible. They had to go through that. It's disgraceful that anyone has to go through that this day and age. But in the game, he'd lost it. His brain was gone. He clashed with
do you know what I mean? It's like
his brain was gone.
It's one of them things, bro. Like people.
Because I don't know how it affects people. It obviously affected him, but he went into that game funny, man. He didn't go into that game normal.
Yeah, bro. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's not one of them, innit? Some people can handle it differently to others, like. But it's horrible. It's horrible, and do you know what I mean? Like people then say, "Oh, you should have handled it," and you'll hear people saying that. You'll be like, "Well, you shouldn't have to." But yeah, horrible situation, bro. Some horrible, really, really horrible people out there that decided to try and do that, and hopefully he's all right, man. He's a good player, Zaha, as well.
He's a great player, and there was chat of him going to big clubs, and like people were going on record saying that he wouldn't look out of place at Real and stuff like that. So. He's a great player. He's kept Palace where they are. But that game, his brain was gone, man. Even like he clashed with Mings, and Mings was like, yeah, brush him off. And then he went back for more. He's like, no, I want some. But he was in the wrong. It's like me pushing you, and you be like, what you doing? And me being like, I want some more. Like he started it, and then it was funny. And Mings is huge as well, so it wasn't as if he was picking on someone small.
Yeah, he's obviously, as I said, he's been affected by it, hasn't he? It's one of them.
And then Ben Higgins not banned for the last 3 games, and I don't know. Things don't seem right at Palace, so I think you will go and do a job.
Yeah, might hope he has a bad game on Thursday. But I hope, as long as that happens, sure. But mate, pleasure as always. I think we covered a lot of good stuff there. I think we covered most of what we wanted to talk from the group chat as well.
Let's get Wambach on this and talk.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm sure he wants to talk about Saka a bit more.
Yeah, so we'll get on. Wicked. All right, mate. Well, cheers, all the best, man. Until next time.
Catch you soon. Cheers.